All right, here we go. If you have any questions, comment in the chat. Or those of you in the classroom, raise your hand if you're having any problems. Yes, can you see? You can? Okay, if not, you can move over to the little thing until I go get you a charger. Then I'm gonna have to move you somewhere else.
The earth is covered in living things. From very large organisms to the tiniest creatures, all living things on earth have one thing in common. They cannot survive alone. To grow and flourish, living things need the support of an ecosystem. An ecosystem is what we call all the things that interact in a specific area, both living and non-living. Ecosystems can be hard to define. They are interconnected in many ways, and it is not always easy to see where one ecosystem ends and another begins. Different ecosystems may look very similar or very different from one another, but all ecosystems are made of the same basic parts. Ecosystems have both living and non-living parts. The non-living parts of an ecosystem include things like sunlight and temperature, air and wind, the types and amount of water available, and rocks and soil. The living parts of an ecosystem are the plants and animals in it. The non-living parts of an ecosystem combine to create the conditions that will determine what kinds of living things will be able to survive there. You won't find a coral reef in the desert or cactus in the ocean because the conditions are wrong for them to live and grow. There are three main types of living things in an ecosystem: producers, consumers, and decomposers. Producers produce or make their own food. Usually they make their food from sunlight through photosynthesis. Plants are the most obvious example of producers. Without producers, no animal would be able to survive. That's because all animals are consumers and need to consume or eat their food. Some animals called herbivores get their energy from eating plants. Other animals, called carnivores, get their energy from eating other animals. There is a third group of animals called omnivores. Omnivores get their energy by eating both plants and meat. Humans are an example of omnivores. Finally, there are the decomposers. Decomposers are generally bacteria and fungi. They consume dead plants and animals and break them down into nutrients that are released into the soil. These nutrients are used by producers like plants to help them grow, and the cycle begins all over again. The living things inside an ecosystem form a community. Within the community are many different populations. A population is made of all the members of one specific species. For instance, all of the plants and animals on the savanna make up the savanna community. Within the savanna, all of the zebras make up the zebra population. All of the acacia trees make up the acacia tree population. And all of the lions make up the lion population. All the parts of an ecosystem must work together to reach a balance that allows each of the members of the system to thrive. For example, in a balanced ecosystem, predators keep the population of rabbits from growing too large, because when there are too many rabbits, they eat too many plants. If rabbits ate too many plants, the plants would not be able to grow back fast enough, and other animals that need the plants would not have enough to eat. Without enough plants, the animals that depend on them for food would start to die. and the soil begins to erode or wash away, which makes it harder for new plants to grow in the future. Ecosystems can become imbalanced when something disrupts their normal workings. Anything from bad weather to diseases to an erupting volcano can disturb an ecosystem. Human activity can also damage the balance of natural ecosystems. By cutting down trees and clearing forests, building roads and cities, killing some animals, introducing new ones, or creating pollution, it can become impossible for the plants and animals in an ecosystem to grow and thrive. In most cases, ecosystems can recover and regain a healthy balance if given enough time and an opportunity to rest from whatever disturbed them in the first place. Since people rely on ecosystems for food and resources, it is important that we try to protect them. Fortunately, there are many ways to have a positive impact on your local ecosystem. By doing anything from picking up trash, planting a tree, conserving water and electricity, or creating a habitat for wild animals, you can help the ecosystem around you become happier and healthier.
That video was interesting.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put you guys into breakout rooms so that you can discuss and try to recall or add more to to your slides. Oh no, I don't know if I'm going to put you guys in breakout rooms. For some reason, it's not letting me be coach. Oh, there we go. Got it. Hold on. Okay. So, breakout room 1, I have Caden, Harlem, and Colin. 2 is Reagan, Tammy, and Zaire. Breakout room 3 is Janaya. Yeah, don't unmute your mic until after you're in your breakout room. Janaya, Jamari, and Cullen. Breakout room 4 would be Carlia and Ocean. And last but not least, breakout room 5 is Amelia and Tyler. And since you guys are both in class, you can talk about it in class or you can talk about it on in your Zoom. Okay. Join your room. You guys have 3 minutes or 4 minutes. I don't let you into the breakout room.
You said one video. Please wait the meeting room.
Yes.
You said one video.
Huh?
You disabled my video, so I can't send a video. All right, so did everybody put something? Did everybody put something that says, please wait for your host to wait?
I don't know. Oh, I know. I can.
that day. But yeah, I did the producers give water to plants, and I guess my other one got deleted, and it said like it gets the water and soil from the decomposers.
Sunlight.
By like sunlight.
I agree with you on that because I heard that in the video. I believe, I don't remember if it said consumers or producers.
Ms. Hernandez, you're muted.
Sorry, friends. I muted myself so that there was no background noise. But at this time, I would like to hear some of the other groups report out. If you're in the room, you're just going to have to use the microphone that's on this iPad, or you can type your answer in the chat. Group one, tell me, what did you guys come up with for producers? Or just report out everything thing that you have on your Jamboard. Group 1. All right, Harlan, go for it.
All right, so what we put for producers is we put that the producers make their own food. I think the producers give water to plants. The producers can be plants, and that planting a tree can help the ecosystem.
Okay. What did you guys have for consumers?
That they're humans, all animals are consumers.
All animals are consumers. All right. Plants. What do you have for decomposers?
They are bacteria and fungi, or actually, how do you say that?
Fungi?
Huh? Fungi. They're good for soil.
Okay, and it's good for soil. It breaks down the nutrients and puts it back into the soil. All right, group number 2, what do you guys have? Go for it. Tammy?
Producers make own food by sunlight.
Yes.
And producers make food out of water. And what we put is they all work together. All animals are consumers. We also put consumers eat other animals, plants, or both. And all consumers eat consumers. Most of them, not all of them, now that I think about it. Most consumers eat consumers.
Or they may eat producers, which are plants.
That's why I said most. Like, most of them eat, a lot of them eat consumers. Consumers eat consumers. And then for decomposers, we put bacteria, confi, we put good soil, and then I put decomposers eat scraps and then make nutrients for the soil.
Okay. Excellent. All right, group number 3. Janaya, Jamari, and Cullen. It looked like looks like Jamari got voted as the speaker for the group.
It's always me. I'm gonna take this away. So what I had said was, hold on, give me a second. Okay, what I said was, produce. Stop. No. What? Never mind. Producer. I said producers produce plants. I said producers make their own food because I was talking about plants are producers. So that's why I said that. And then Janaya put under mine plants. And then we said for consumers that animals are consumers. And then for decomposers, we said decomposers are fungi and bacteria that make stuff reusable that can have been dead, rotten fruit, and plants.
Okay. So they break down living organisms so that they are usable again. I just want to remind Colin and Cullen that the chat should only be used for educational purposes. So if you have a question or a statement about what is being discussed, neither of you are using the chat appropriately. All right, group number 4. What did your group have?
So producers are like plants or really any green plant, because if the plant died, then no, it's not going to produce things. But can you hear me well?
I can hear you well.
Okay, so yeah, any green plant, it's a producer because it produces its own food. It like gathers sunlight and it like almost turns it into its own food. So and I guess humans could be producers as well because we kind of like produce our own food. We like, let's say we take carrots and we take bread and we make, I don't know, carrot bread. But so, and then when we move on to consumers, it's like really, so plants, well, they consume things. So, animals, really any type of food. So, animals, yeah, it's any type of food. So that's why they're consumers, because you know. But on decomposers, well, fungus is a decomposer, mushrooms or moss is a decomposer, because it decomposes other things. So yeah.
All right, great job, Ocean's group. Ocean and Carlia. And then lastly, we've got group 5 with Tyler and Amelia. Okay, and then your decomposers. Tyler, you want to tell us about the decomposers? Okay, I think that your group had exactly, I don't know if you guys could hear him or not. He's kind of quiet, which is okay. But their group has a decomposers break down the living organisms into nutrients that are for the soil, which means that it's good for the soil, and it helps to add, again, nutrients to the soil. So while you guys were talking and reporting out, I was taking notes on what you all said. I'm trying to get a better image of this. So if you guys want to take a screenshot, you could utilize this for your assignment later today. It has some good, oh wait, hold on, you guys can't see it all because it should be on Zoom. And hold on, you can't see the bottom note. They all work together. One of the groups had that. I really liked that. So all of these pieces work together. Your producers, consumers, and your decomposers, they all work together. All right. So now, if you would like to take a screenshot so that you have it for your assignment today, you can. Don't have to. But this is definitely some good notes for you guys to have in regards to producers, consumers, and decomposers. But please keep in mind that plants only fit under producers. Even though plants consume water, they consume sunlight, They consume nutrients from the soil. They are the only living thing that can create usable energy from the sun. They create sugar and carbohydrates using energy from the sun. So that puts them in a whole different category. So keep that in mind. Any types of plants are producers because they create energy from the sun that is useful throughout every other category. Yes.
This is a question about the plant thing. What about the Venus flytrap?
What about the Venus flytrap? I don't know. What about it? Yes, they do. So they kind of straddle the producers and consumers. But if you had to choose one or the other, they would be a producer as well because they are a plant. Okay? But yes, my class had that same exact question. That's so funny. All right. So now we're getting ready for our next assignment in Echo, which is listed here. So there are two things that you guys have to do. The first thing in your assignment today, you have to label, oh my goodness, my nose is itching. Somebody's coming to see me. You have to label each of the categories. So of course, we've talked about it as a group. So you're gonna double tap in the first box and you would label that one as producers. Okay, so everybody, I would like you now to go into Echo. Yes, Cammie, I see your hands raised. Or is this from earlier? Hello, Cammie, are you there?
My
Yes.
hand's not.
Your hand's not up? Okay, just kidding. Maybe I'm making things up. I could be known to do that. I'll go into Echo so I can show you guys what you do. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're gonna go to science. Scroll down. We are still zooming, but we're now on step 2. Friday, your organism sort. It says to watch the video. We just watched the video. We took notes on the video. So now it's time to make a copy of this document. Make a copy of that lovely document. And then you're going to click make a copy. And then, my friends, you are going to...
There should be rules.
I'm going to try to do this a different way. See if it will let me edit it. We shall see. Yes, it will. Okay, so you're going to double tap in the box. Just kidding. Oh, yep, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. All right. The organisms in group 1 are, and we said as a group, we are going to label those as producers. Okay. Organisms in group 1 are producers. Organisms in group 2 are?
Herbivore? No, consumers.
Consumers, which means that they get their energy from other consumers or producers. Producers get their energy from sunlight. What did I do there? That's silly. what is this doing? Okay, so we're just gonna ignore that. Pretend like this is not happening. This is not as friendly to edit as your iPads are. And then the organisms in group 3 are, look, it just did it again. That crazy.
Decomposers.
Yes, they're decomposers. They break down those biotic organisms once they are no longer useful. They are decomposers. Decomposers, 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 decomposers. All right, so after you have labeled your categories, then you're going to click on the pictures and you're going to drag and drop them. This lovely orange tree, where would it go, my friends?
It will go into the producer.
It would be a producer. It gets its energy from the sun and provides us with lovely, delicious oranges. Now, like I said, I don't know if this is as friendly as y'all's iPads are, and it's obviously not as friendly. So I'm going to send you on your way. Those of you who are on Zoom, you are free to go, or you can hang out to complete your assignment with your friends or your class, or you're free to go and enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. I love you and can't wait to have you back in class.